The bereaved Chiwenga, Mvundura, and Siziba families. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, and First Secretary of ZANU-PF, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, in absentia. Vice President and Second Secretary of ZANU-PF, Colonel Retired Campbell Dogesh Mohadi. Minister of Defense and Chairman of ZANU-PF, Honorable Comrade Opacha Musipange Mchinguri Gashiri. ZANU-PF Secretary General Comrade Dr. Obed Mpofu in absentia. Politburo members and Central Committee members who are here. Speaker of the National Assembly, Advocate Jacob Francis Mdenda. President of the Senate, Honorable Comrade Mabo Memory Chinomona. The Chief Justice of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Luke Malava. President of the National Chiefs Council, Honorable Senator Muchane Kumaro. Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Charles Chiwenga. Other honorable ministers here present, Acting Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Reverend Paul Damasani, Chairman of the Public Service Commissions, Dr. Vincent Wungwe, Commander Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General Philip Valerio Sibanda, Service Chiefs, Veterans of the Liberation Struggle, senior government officials, Mayor of the City of Harare, His Worship Councillor Jacob Mafume, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. We gather once again in solemnity at the National Heroes Acre to lay to rest three gallant sons of the soil. Comrade Chenamo Chain, Chakesha Chumtengwende, Ambassador John Shumba Vundura, and Major General Retired Solomon Siziwa. General Siziwa passed on at 2 referral hospital, Josiah Magama Tongogara Barracks, here in Harare on the 15th of January after a long battle with cancer. Comrade Chumtengwende succumbed to a chronic kidney ailment on the 16th of January, the same day that we also lost Ambassador Vundura. Their passing on is another huge blow to our nation. We grieve over this sad loss. On behalf of His Excellency, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, the government, our party, ZANU-PF, our nation, my family, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to express my deepest heartfelt condolences to the Chumtengwende, Mvundura, and Siziwa families at the sorrowful loss of these three gallant sons. May the pain of the three bereaved families be relieved by the distinguished role of the late departed cadres played in liberating our nation, and the patriotism they exhibited during their respective services to our country. To the veterans of the liberation struggle and to the ruling ZANU-PF, we appreciate the role played by the media fraternity in putting the detailed life history of the three national heroes into the public domain. Fellow mourners, the late Comrade Chenamo Chakeja Chimtengwende, or Comrade Chain, as he was affectionately known, was born on the 20th of August in 1943. He did his primary and secondary education in Highfields in the then Salisbury. Comrade Chimtengwende's contribution to the freedom from the years of our liberation struggle until his said departure amply demonstrates the deep love he had for his country. He began his political career in 1957 at the tender age of 14 while living in Highfield in the then Salisbury. His nationalist convictions and abhorrence of the oppressive colonial environment saw him rise rapidly in 1963 when he was appointed to the post of Secretary for Information and Publicity in the ZANU Youth League. The following year, 1964, Comrade Chen Chimtengwende accompanied other comrades, some who are still with us, to Ghana, where they were under the command of our former Director General in the President's office, Comrade Shadrach Chipanga, and Comrade John Makwasha. The two commanders, the commander and the deputy, are still alive. And we had also Colonel Kumaro, he is still with us, Mujamba. Those who passed away, one of them is lying here at the National Heroes Acre, Comrade William Dangana. This group received military and ideological training in Ghana during Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's time. He remained committed to the liberation of the Zimbabwean people, even while living in various countries across the globe, mobilizing resources and canvassing for international support for the liberation movement back here at home. After independence, Comrade Chen Chimtengwende served in various capacities in government, serving as a member of parliament representing Mazowe East and Mazowe Central constituencies in Mashonaland Central Province for a period spanning more than 2 decades. In 1986, he was also appointed to the post of ZANU-PF Provincial Chairman for Mashonaland Central and held that position for a period of 17 years. Within that time frame, he served as a cabinet minister for 14 years, when he held various portfolios, which include Minister of Information, Post and Telecommunications, Minister of Environment and Tourism, as well as Minister of State for Public and Interactive Affairs. Whilst serving in the legislature, Comrade Chiwenga's wisdom saw him being appointed to the post of Deputy President of the Senate and head of the Zimbabwe delegation to the Pan-African Parliament. He also served as a member of the Politburo, and at the time of his passing on, he was member of the National Consultative Assembly. Comrade Chiwenga was a holder of a master's degree in peace studies from the University of Bradford in the United Kingdom. Comrade Chain will be remembered for his dedication and loyalty to the ruling party, ZANU-PF. Fellow mourners, the late Ambassador John Shumba Mvundura was born on 8 August 1943 in Makoni District, Rusape, Manikaren Province. He did his primary education at Ndumba Primary School from 1951 to 1956, and later on transferred to Andina Primary School from 1957 to 1959. Comrade Mvundura enrolled for secondary education at Harare Secondary School from 1961 to 1963. A seasoned diplomat and a veteran of our liberation struggle, Comrade Mvundura's political career began in the early days of ZAPU and ZANU, when the brave political activists began mobilizing support to act against oppressive colonial rule. As an activist and chair of youth in the old Highfield, he was among the brave sons and daughters of the soil who stood up and fought for the independence of Zimbabwe. Highfields was at the center of formative years of rising dissent against white supremacy in the then Rhodesia. Ambassador Mvundura received his military training in Tembwe, Mozambique, in Tete Province, and was a member of the ZANU General Staff. He was later deployed in Nachingwea, Tanzania, as assistant instructor. Between 1978 and 1980, he was ZANU's chief of protocol and deputy chief representative in Mozambique. The nation has lost a diplomat who served in different countries since Zimbabwe's independence in 1980. His first diplomatic mission was in Mozambique and Swaziland, followed by Malawi, Libya, Nigeria, and Cuba. Despite retiring from government service in 1994, his resilience and commitment to his country led to his reappointment as ambassador to Cuba from 2000 to 2013. The late Ambassador Mvundura's academic achievements include a bachelor, Masters of Science degrees in politics and international relations, and a doctorate of philosophy from international universities. Comrades, the late national hero, Major General retired Solomon Siziva, was born on 25th of April 1958 in Hwari, Gwanda district in Matabele South Province. He did his primary education at Hwari Primary School before enrolling for secondary education at Manama Mission in 1977. The late General Siziba was part of the group of Manama Secondary School children who were taken by the Zimbabwe People's Revolutionary Army guerrillas to Botswana in 1977 and later joined the liberation struggle in Zambia. His Chiwenga name was Comrade Lebanon Gazimbi. Some of the youthful Zimbabwe People's Revolutionary Army cadres who joined the liberation struggle in Zambia together with the late General Siziba include the late Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, retired Lieutenant General Dr. Sibusiso Moyo, retired Air Chief Marshal Efson Moyo, Air Vice Marshal Selvale Masera, and Honorable Albert Nguluwe, among others. The late General Siziba underwent basic training in Chiwenga, Zambia, under the Zimbabwe People's Revolutionary Army, ZIPRA. During his training at Chiwenga, the camp commandant then was the current Commander Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General Philip Valerio Sibanda. Upon completion of his training, General Siziba was appointed as assistant to the camp Amara and later on was elevated to the post of Reconnaissance Detachment Commander. The late Major General was one of the survivors of the 1978 Rhodesian Security Forces attacks at Freedom and Mkushi camps in Zambia. As the War of the Liberation progressed, the ZIPRA command element saw it fit to select General Siziba to undergo specialist reconnaissance training in Moscow in the then Union of Soviet Socialist Republics in 1979. On completion of that training, he was deployed at Mazowe Training Depot in Solwezi, Zambia, as the Reconnaissance Detachment Commander up to ceasefire. He was attested into the Zimbabwe National Army and commissioned as captain and appointed adjutant for 180 Infantry Battalion in Kezi, Matabele South. The late Major General was deployed with 1 Infantry Brigade during the Zimbabwe Defense Forces military intervention in Mozambique as part of our country's quest to honor its regional peace and security obligations. He was also part of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces contingent, which was deployed in the Democratic Republic of Congo at the SADC Forces headquarters during Operation Sovereign Legitimacy. For his continuous loyalty to the country, dedication to duty, discipline, professionalism, and unquestionable allegiance to the command element and other various positive traits which he exhibited in task execution, he was appointed as Defense Attaché at the Zimbabwe Embassy in Botswana from 2005 to 2013. Major General Siziba was appointed the Deputy Commander of 1 Infantry Brigade following his promotion to the rank of Colonel from 2013 until 2018. At the formation of the National Prosecuting Authority of Zimbabwe, he was appointed Director of Administration at the National Prosecuting Authority and was also its board secretary. In 2018, Major General was reassigned to the mainstream military duties at the Zimbabwe National Army Headquarters as Brigadier General Inspectorate, a post he held until retirement from the military in 2024. The same year he was elevated to the rank of Major General. The late Major General retired, was awarded the Grand Officer of the Zimbabwe Order of Merit for distinguishing himself as a principled, loyal, dedicated, and competent senior military officer, and many other service and campaign medals, which include the Mozambique and DRC campaign medals. On a sad note, the late Major General's wife, Cherit Siziva, Nee Ndlovu, passed on 26th of September last year, 2024. The general lying there, he was not able to lay to rest his dear wife due to severe illness because the cancer had attacked him seriously. They meet as the general is followed. Fellow monarchs, let us not forget that it is through the selfless sacrifices and dedication to duty by the late 3 gallant sons of the soil we are laying to rest today. And men are the departed and living cadres that Zimbabwe continues to enjoy its sovereign nationhood as a state. We can only realize our vision of attaining an empowered and prosperous upper middle income society by guarding against and desisting from all forms of actions and misdeeds which undermine the national interests. Foremost is corruption and all forms of related unethical and self-conduct, especially in respect of business transactions at whatever level, small, medium to large economic units. Any act of shady dealings and acts of deceit goes towards undermining the ideals of which these gallant national heroes sacrificed. Let us all strive to build a habitable, peaceful, economically stable, and secure Zimbabwe as a legacy for future generations. It is the duty of each generation to take our nation forward. That way, the trajectory of our nation will remain on the upward, with each generation leaving a wholesome legacy for the one coming after it. The 3 heroes that we are bearing today leave behind all that they worked for during their lifetime, as it is written in Job 1 verses 21, that naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. No one amongst these three heroes lying there, no one carries to the world yonder the material things one gathers in one's life. What one carries to the world beyond, we are told by scriptures, is one's righteousness. What one leaves behind on this earth for the living are the good deeds, selfless sacrifice, which goes towards defining one's legacy. So let's all of us keep a clean legacy. Such is the story from all our heroes who lie here and elsewhere in unmarked graves strewn across the length and breadth of our country, and in countless mass graves in neighboring countries. Many never made it to a free Zimbabwe, and their tragic fate must remain a cautionary tale to our collective conscience. The only way we can honor these heroes and heroines is to make sure that we all build the Zimbabwe that they envisioned. Indeed, the great Zimbabwe we want, which is peaceful, secure, prosperous, and always moving forward. It is with these ideals that our President, His Excellency Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, gave us the cardinal principle of nyika inovakwa nevene vayo, ilizwe lakiwa ngavanikazi valo. Nyika inotongwa nevene vayo, ilizwe libuswa evanikazi valo. Nyika inodzivirirwa nevene vayo, ilizwe livikirwe ngevanikazi valo. No one is going to come and defend our country except ourselves. A loud and clear no to corruption by whomsoever. Corruption aborts our quest for sustainable economic development, peace and stability. Our struggle for independence was founded on the values of unity and love. These are timeless and ageless values which we must personify today and tomorrow, and which we must pass on to those who come after us. They make a nation. They give character to a people. Above all, they make us winners in every sphere of human endeavor. As we strive to develop our country, what must always guide us is the need to shun hatred and to embrace each other through love, tolerance, and forgiveness. If you become a false witness, then be it known that you are betraying these three comrades we are laying to rest today. Also to those whom we laid here and at various shrines across the country, and indeed those who are buried in mass graves in neighboring countries. Let us remember that we lost over 50,000 Zimbabweans, combatants, Mujibas and Chimbwindos, and our parents and children during the War of Liberation, lest we forget. Lack of respect for each other and pet jealous are mortal sins, which cannot be forgiven here on earth and in heaven. We should respect one another and continue to be guided by the ethic of Ubuntu, taking cognizance of the fact that every Zimbabwean who was born as we fought for our independence contributed in different yet important capacities towards this one sacred goal, which motivated us all and built solid unit in struggle. The three gallant heroes we gathered to lay here today were on the land. They worked the land with their hearts and minds. They fought hunger by contributing to the gross domestic product. As I address you, the heavens have opened, the rains have come. We must also thank the Almighty God for the good rains that we have and continue to receive in most parts of the country. After last year's searing drought, let us make maximum use of this divine favor. We need to continue to grow short seasonal crops, which will enhance our food security efforts. A nation which cannot secure its stomach cannot safeguard its sovereignty. I call upon different sectors of our society, particularly the media and communications fraternity at large, civil society and national interest-driven opposition political parties, and other social interest groups to play a very positive and significant role in the promotion of nation building and unity of purpose. We are all Zimbabweans, and we should take pride in one national anthem and one national flag. Through the visionary and astute leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, we must remain united as Zimbabweans, pulling in one direction for the purpose of attaining peace, security, and prosperity. Despite our divergent political views, we should always remember that we are one people who should be guided by the ethic of transformative politics, where tolerance, forgiveness, and Ubuntu precedence in our quest to build a prosperous, secure, and stable Zimbabwe that we will continue to be patriotically proud of. Fellow mourners, today we bury Major General Sizwe, Comrade Chiwenga, Ambassador Bundura, alongside their colleagues at this national shrine for remembrance and eternal reverence. I say to the three departed heroes, Ambani Kahle, vatwana vomuthabati. Fambai zvakanaka vana vefu. Go well, sons of the soil. Lalani ngokutula makawe amakawe. Zororai murigare magamba edu. Rest in eternal peace, our heroes. We promise that we will continue to work hard to defend and prosper what you sacrificed your whole lives for, namely the right to sovereignty as a state and prosperity of our motherland, Zimbabwe. We will defend this country to remember the thousands of those who perished in the armed struggle. I thank you. Siyabonga.
Thank you.